Episode 234. It's her. That's Camilla Davis. Serena slept very well, but still she could not get enough sleep. It was absolutely terrible to be woken up early in the morning. Feeling Jake's hand pinching her nose, she frowned and hit his hand, but it was caught firmly and used to lift her up. She opened her eyes, pouting. After seeing him, she bowed her head. I am so sleepy.
Get on the plane and sleep then.
Jake pulled her up.
Today we're leaving for Houston. Did you forget?
No, not today. Let's go tomorrow. She buried herself in the blanket again. He couldn't help but smile.
You will say this tomorrow also. Get up. I will get you dressed.
Hey. She hung herself on him. I will puke on the plane.
You told Charlie Rom we would arrive this afternoon. Are you going to break your promise?
After hearing this, she finally straightened her body and stretched her arms to let him undress her. He tapped on her nose.
This pregnancy is getting you more and more lazy.
Although he said that, he still patiently helped her change. She did not even open her eyes the entire time. All right. Oh! Serena immediately opened her eyes and went to the bathroom. After she finished washing, Jake had already prepared her luggage, a bag, and a small suitcase with clothes.
Let's go.
Wait, I'll do my makeup.
No makeup. We don't have time, Serena. Besides, you don't need any makeup.
But my complexion is looking awful. Look at my face. She complained. I look so pale and dim.
No, you do not. You look better than most people with makeup.
Really?
Really.
Then I will put on some lipstick at least. Jake simply went up and took her lipstick away. Lifting her up with a big hand, he exclaimed,
Let's go. Breakfast and then on the way.
She pouted, but she was overpowered by him. She had to give up. After breakfast, they took a taxi to the airport. On the plane, she couldn't sleep. She snuggled next to Jake and said, Darling?
Yes?
I have a stronger feeling that our babies may really be twins. Last night, I dreamt that a little boy took a little girl and came to me to ask to play. They even asked me to ask you, to give them names. He heard her words and turned his head. The face that had always been cold cracked with a smile.
Me?
Yes. She looked at him expectantly. I know Grandpa will like to also pitch in for the names, but we can always suggest to him what we think, and then ask him to officially declare that? Jake heard her words and pondered for a moment. Serena said eagerly, How about Amber and Adam Robinson? He glanced at her after a moment of silence. Then Veronica and Victor Robinson? She gave him another option. We should give them some powerful names, so we can call them by their nicknames too.
Lie down for a while. Let me think about it.
Obviously, he did not appreciate the names she came up with. Pouting, she snuggled down under the blanket and turned her back to him. Jake smiled and started to think about it, leaning against the back of the seat. It was a 2-hour flight between Austin and Houston. When they arrived at the Houston International Airport, it was already noon. Her mood was unexpectedly good. As soon as the plane landed, she excitedly unbuckled herself and asked him, Have you thought of something?
Be careful.
Jake stopped her.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay. Serena followed him off the airplane. After the two took the luggage, they got a car and went to the hotel they had booked. The weather was cold, and all the trees were leafless. Looking ahead, it was foggy and gray. This was the legendary Smog. Serena looked back and saw that he was actually searching for the child's names with his mobile phone. She took a look and said, "I thought of another one. Ella and Alexander."
Alexander. Jake chuckled and turned off the phone. He said, "Alexander sounds a lot like my brother Alex's name."
"Oh yes, but that doesn't make a difference, right?"
"How about Kate and Carl?"
"No, they sound very elderly names." The driver chuckled at the conversation they were having. Jake got a little conscious and regained his composure.
"Here we are. Let's go to the hotel and talk about it later."
He opened the door and took her hand. They arrived at the Regency Hotel. He gestured the bellboy who helped carry their luggage, and he walked inside with Serena. After the couple checked into a suite, they had some lunch. Serena rested for a bit, and Jake finished some work on his laptop. They then got ready and left for Charlie Wrong's house. Charlie Wrong's house was in Rice, which was close to the military base in Houston, and was one of the richest neighborhoods in the city. Before they went to his house, they bought a couple of gifts for him, as they did not want to show up empty-handed. While they pulled up into the neighborhood, Serena inadvertently turned back and saw a white BMW with a smooth silhouette. The profile of the driver looked very familiar. There was a little traffic jam on the road, and the cars were particularly slow. Gazed at by Serena, the driver noticed it and looked back. Seeing it was her, Camilla was dazed before she looked away and rolled the window up to block her sight.
"What's wrong?"
Jake whispered, noticing that she stopped walking. "Did you see that woman?" Serena pointed at the BMW. "She is Camilla Davis." Jake saw the car, and his eyes became dim. He gently pulled her.
"We're almost there. Let's go."
Charlie was watching his daughter practice shooting in the backyard. Receiving the phone call from Jake, he felt incredibly surprised.
"Anna, let's go. We have guests."
"Where are we going?" Anna put the gun down and followed him.
"To the gate. Our guests are here."
Charlie looked very happy, walking fast. Anna had not seen her father so happy in a long time. The last time he was in such a good mood, it was a few years ago, when her mother randomly bought him a scarf.
"You're here!"
Charlie opened the door and saw Jake and Serena standing in the distance and talking. They walked up to him and Jake shook his hand. "Mr. Wrong," Serena called. Seeing Anna behind him, she greeted, "Hello, Miss Wrong." When Anna saw Serena's face, she immediately recognized her. With some mysterious emotions in her charming eyes, she seemed to be a little surprised. "Yes. Is it you?" Serena did not know whether it was her imagination, when she felt like Anna was looking at her a little weirdly. Was it because she looked like Camilla? She just smiled and nodded. She knew the moment she'd entered in, she was in for a ride.